Welcome to our Lent reading for Sunday the 9th of March, the first Sunday in Lent. For reflection, God's inexhaustible love. People like to present Jesus as a model for Christian action by showing he was so uncompromisingly available to all men. They often fail to realise that he was only able to be open to all men because he was first open to God. It was only because he had exposed himself without restraint to God's love that he was able to be filled with the fullness that he could communicate to others. Without the hidden years, the desert, the lonely garden, the inner room, there would be no compassion for the needy, no love for the loveless, no healing for the sick. To follow him does not mean that we should try and copy him. As an artist say, copies a model. It doesn't mean that we should merely imitate the outward manifestation of the inner light that burned in him. It does mean, though, that we must expose ourselves to that same light that may set us afire too. Come to realise there's only one source of energy to revitalise a man or woman. It is only when the dynamic rays of God's inexhaustible love begin to permeate the very marrow of our inmost being that we receive the strength to stand upright and grow, to ripen and bud under its influence, and to finally open out, to blossom forth. Without this source of life, we have no more chance of growing than dropping a geranium in a dark room. We can only begin to expose ourselves to it once we see clearly that the spiritual life begins with God, and everything else begins to slot into place. It does not begin firstly with us trying to love him, or other people for that matter, but with trying to allow his love to burst into our lives. We first must seek the kingdom of God, then everything else will fall into place, and I hope there's a hymn going through your head. Only when this process gets underway properly will we be radically and fundamentally renewed. We will be able to love him in return, create community and enter into others in a way and on a level we never envisaged before. All this is possible not just because of the power of our love, but because of another will to live in us and to love us and through us. Well, it's written by David Torkington, who was a lecturer and a retreat conductor. And he left us with a prayer. And the prayer is this. Well, there's a reading from St. John's Gospel, chapter 15, and in the midst of 8 and 17 is the word, abide in my love. Fast falls the eventide, abiding in love. And so the prayer, Lord, expose me to your light, that I may pray not just in words or phrases, not simply with the words of others, more saintly than myself, but from my heart, that your love may throb within me, busting into my life, so that I may praise you forever. And you'll see I'm sitting at Painter 2, and people are coming past me. I'm sitting in a little tiny hut that's perfect. Anyway, God bless you. Bye for now.